Good day, most awesome folks, TBU fans, Orsomerset Scizors fans. Hi, how's it going? It's been a while. How are you doing? Bloody good to see you again. This is really weird for me because I have recorded many videos in my period of absence. Period. And in a lot of them, usually because it's been a long time between me recording them, I've said, oh my god, I bet you're really surprised to see a video. So I kind of feel like I shouldn't say that this time, even though this will be going up chronologically before any of the others. So there may be some Scizception going on. I don't think Scizception is the right term, but I digress. TBU, week 1 is upon us. Are you excited? I know I am. Well, technically, you know, like, excited doesn't cover the emotion I'm feeling. So I wouldn't necessarily say I'm excited. It's more like a constant state of nerve orgasm. You know, like your nerves are just like, I'm so nervous and excited. No, just me. Okay, this is why I don't make videos anymore. So, with that in mind, week 1, as you can probably see from the glorious graphics behind me, we are facing the Tampa Bay Luxrays, coached by Monotui. I kind of feel like I should say it in like a Hawaiian way. Monotui. And anyway, Monotui. And as you guys probably know, he is a really good battler. He's currently subbing in for Gubs in the GBA. And yeah, week 1 is always a bit of a bitch to us. One way or another, week 1 shafts us right in the butt. And we have this titanic opponent for round 1, who has a really nice team as well, actually. It was really tough picking them on that I thought he was going to choose to use against me. But once I'd selected them, I thought, you know what, this fits. This seems obvious. This seems like, not obvious as in boring and standard, but this seems like the best 6, you know, types and stats wise, not necessarily like specific movesets, but the 6 I'm pretty sure will be, with the exception of one, I'm unsure on one, but 5 at least, I'm like 99% certain they're going to be coming. So yeah, it's part of the excitement, seeing if your predictions come true. It makes me tingle with a rapturous joy. I'm gonna stop blibber blabbering now. I mean, I know it's been a while since we've all talked, and you know, I've missed you too. But I think we're all here for some league-based excitement. I'll do some kind of update, flim flam, and really get down and dirty with you guys. But for now, let's stick to the Battle Union, shall we? Come on, stop distracting us, guys. Come on, focus. I'm trying to be a super serious professional commentator here, and you're all jabbering away, asking questions. What we're gonna do, first of all, we will look at my team. The team that I plan to bring against the monorific one, and then we'll show you Mono's team. I don't know if that's the right way around to do it, but that's the way I'm gonna do it. So without further ado, let us present to you my team. Wait, wrong way. My team. We'll edit that out. So first of all, and we finally got it. I'm sure you all know because you all watched the live draft, didn't you? Because you're good TBU heads. TBUites. I mean, I know you guys are collectively called battle fans, you know, TBU fans, but is that like a name, like ites or isms? Not isms, it's more for words. Going off on a tangent again, must stay focused like a fine laser this season. First of all, now that we finally picked him up, we have Mega Scizor. Obviously, I had to present Mega Scizor to you guys first of all. He's essentially the captain of the team. The Orsomerset Scizors have been 2 seasons without a Scizor on the team and 2 seasons without a win. Coincidence? As my main boy Gregory House would say, coincidences are stupid. Or something. That was a really bad impression. I've never tried to do House before. So, what we have here, no, not a physically defensive Mega Scizor showdown. Who are you fool? We have a jolly, I know, a jolly Mega Scizor. We've got Roost, U-Turn, Bullet Punch, and Superpower. I'm sure if you guys have even glanced at Mono's team, you know why we have Superpower. He has, and this will also explain to you the jolly as well, he has a Magneton. And if you have a Magneton and your opponent has a Scizor, there is only one thing that can happen. Magnet Pull, Hidden Power, Fire. So we are prepared for that, friends. Oh yes indeed. We have enough speed to outspeed an uninvested Magneton. Yeah. But, we also have enough speed to outspeed a moderately invested Magneton. We reach 135 speed. Which means, in fact, I think even a fully invested Magneton wouldn't reach that much. So we outspeed Magneton, even a timid Magneton, if I remember correctly. Which I think I do. I know calcs and stuff. I can do speed tiers. I can cry really quickly. So, yes, we have enough speed to outspeed Magneton, which means if Magneton gets switched in on Scizor, expecting to trap us and destroy the Mega Scizor, get that powerhouse priority out of the way early. No, my friend. We've got a superpower waiting for you. We can outspeed and OHKO with a superpower. That's what I'm talking about. A max defense, Eviolite Magneton gets OHKO'd by superpower. I believe there is a small fractional chance that it'll survive. But then, hello, Bullet Punch! So yeah, Magneton won't be a threat for Scizor unless it's Scarfed. In which case, it's still not going to be able to KO us in one turn. And we can switch out, so we'll get a move off on it on the switch and then be able to, maybe even a U-turn if we're lucky, and we'll be able to switch in something more appropriate to take it on, like Scrafty, or even Mamo. Mamo's a glorious switch into Magneton. So while I'm certain the Magneton will be coming, I'm also quite certain it's not going to be a problem. So there's that. The Bullet Punch is there because it's a Mega Scizor with Technician. Yo. U-turn, because Initiative and Mega Scizor, like, they go hand in hand. It's like Jedward's probably not very relevant. It's like Justin Bieber and Twat. They just go together, hand in hand, harmoniously. And Roost, because Bulk is nice. As well, I've noticed that Mono plays he can play a bulky offense approach quite well. It's sustainability. And sometimes he can play the long game, and his Mon have the potential to run a long game. So I want to have some survivability too. And we have some moderate natural bulk as a Mega Scizor, especially on the physical side. So it'd be nice to be able to roost up, especially because we don't have hazard removal. I know that might seem like a huge deal, but we've only got one Mon on the team weak to hazards. And we actually have a couple of resistances. So that's decent. I didn't see much of a weakness, and there's a lot of potential recovery with the, well, you guys don't know this shit, spoiler alert, leftovers Azumarill, and we've got Rest on Goodra over there, and other such things. Plenty of recovery, no need to worry about that. So that's the Scizor in a nutshell. Jolly, so that we didn't have to tank all of the EVs into speed in order to outspeed, something that I'll explain a little bit later on when I get to Mono's team, if I remember. Which I'm sure I will, because I'm a pro, right? Scizor pro, Sizz pro. Another unanimous, ubiquitous, mutually exclusive combination of terms. Now let's move on to Mono Swine. Oh, I didn't even tell you about the nickname, did I? Mono Brow, because Scizor has the most glorious monobrow, and Mono Tui, and Anyway, so now we have Mono Swine. Expert Belt, Thick Fat. Now the reason for Expert Belt is because I didn't want to take Life Orb damage, especially with no ability to get rid of rocks. And I wanted a little bit more survivability with Mamoswine. I wanted to be able to switch it in a couple of times, hopefully, to pick up Ice Shard Revenge KOs or something along those lines. Mamoswine is here to set up rocks and take as much health away from Mono's Mons as possible before it goes down. That's essentially the plan. Unless it seems like a really bad idea based on what I think he's going to do on the day. Monoswine, he's just going to be front and center. He's going to be over the trenches, firing off stealth rocks, hitting things until he falls. And I thank you for your sacrifice, my brother. Stealth rocks, of course. Earthquake, of course. Ice Shard, obvious reasons. Knockoff, because we don't actually have knockoff on this team. With Scrafty, we've decided to go for Crunch because I wanted that offense. Especially when you consider that this man right here has Cresselia. We don't want to be relying on knockoff if we have to 1v1 a Cresselia, although we don't want to be 1v1 a Cresselia with Scrafty anyway, you know what I'm saying? Because that Moonblast is real. But yeah, so we want options. We want to be able to hit that thing hard. If we do get the opportunity to hit Crest, we want to hit it as strong a move as possible. So that's the reason behind having knockoff on Mamo, because I want to be able to knock off some of his items at the very least, and it's always good to have a knockoff somewhere on the team. The reason that Mamo has 109 speed is, at 109 speed, he can outspeed a Cresselia. He can outspeed a Cresselia at 106 speed. However, just in case of shenanigans, I like to put a little bit extra speed, a couple of extra points into mons that I'm speed creeping, if I can, if I feel like I can afford it, just in case. No real other benefits to that speed. I mean, it does outspeed a mildly speed-invested, modest Magneton as well. So that's also decent. We don't really want to be being outsped by Magneton. If we switch into a Volt Switch, then we can pick up a nice and powerful Earthquake KO, or force him to switch into an Earthquake, or a knockoff if we predict the Crest. So yeah, a little bit of speed, a little bit of bulk, lots of attack. That's how we roll. Thick Fat, because Thick Fat, we want this thing to be surviving. He has a lot of potential for hitting us on the special side with the fire and the ice and such. So Thick Fat just made sense. I don't really care about Oblivious. It's not very likely he's going to be taunting us, let's be honest here. And Snowcloak's just lame anyway. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't really like those evasion boosting abilities. They feel a little cheap. A little cheap. Little Twitter. A little cheap. Anyway, round 3. Azumono. Absolutely thrilled to have the controversial Doom Bunny that is Azumarill. The reason it's a controversial pick, if you guys don't know, I originally drafted Victini in the slot that Azumarill now fills. Okay, chill, Winston. I may have dropped one of the best Mon in League format, but if you guys check out my draft, you can probably tell from the team we have here that, oh wow, that is the itchiest of ears. Oh my lord. Oh wow. Oh, that was satisfying. Not going to lie, that was satisfying in a way I shouldn't be satisfied in public. Yes, so where was I? Whoa, I'm all flustered. Big floppy ears, adorable bunny. Yes, if you guys can tell from the team in front of you or from the team that we've drafted, if you've examined the draft, which I urge you to do, I'll actually link you to... I think we have a public version of the TBU document for you guys to peruse, maybe. If not, I'll look into that for you. Anyway, we have not a rain team, but a team that can benefit from rain. I don't want Victini, especially the Uber V-Create, the reason you want Victini above all else, really. I don't want that to be nerfed by a strategy that could be viable with a lot of team compositions against a lot of opponents. So I dropped Victini and picked up Azumarill. I think Azumarill fits the team a lot better. Needed a fairy as well. There were no fairies. Want to be able to block Dragon Spam. Want to be able to deter Outrages. So yeah, Azumarill made sense. The reason I'm going for Lefty's Belly Drum on this Azumarill, it might seem ballsy as shit, especially against an incredible player like Mono. But I'm hoping against all hopes, that I can somehow end up getting a free switch into Blastoise with Azumono. We have enough speed, 228 speed. That brings us up to 99 speed. Sorry, 228 investment in speed brings us up to 99 speed. That is enough speed to speed tie with the same approximation of a mildly invested Magneton. Not that that really matters. But it also allows us to outspeed. Speed creeping. Mildly speed creeping. Although I don't see what he would speed creep to this level. But anyway, essentially an uninvested Mega Blastoise. We can outspeed Mega Blastoise. And friends, we can take a couple of Scalds. We can take an Aura Sphere. We can take an Ice Beam for days. Well, no, yeah. We get the Belly Drum off. Because we outspeed. Take the hit. Lefties. Play rough. +6 Oko. Worst comes to worst, Play rough is a 2-hit KO anyway. Depends on rolls. Maybe a 3-hit KO. But really, as long as we can threaten it out, get the Belly Drum off, or get a huge Play rough off on something else, it's not a waste. I think Belly Drum could really come in handy for a late game sweep as well. If we get the opportunity to set up on Cresselia, for instance, if it doesn't have Toxic. How glorious. Doesn't even matter if it knocks off our leftovers. Cresselia gets knock off, doesn't it? Why do I always forget this? I love Cress. You didn't hear that. You heard nothing. So that's basically the reason for Doom Bunny. The Belly Drum, knockoff, Aquajet, and Play Rough. We do have another knockoff user. I apologise. I am a spanner. But yeah, huge power, of course. Leftovers, Play Rough, Aquajet, Belly Drum, fairly self-explanatory. Priority, especially with a rain boosted Aquajet potentially from a huge power +6. Azumarill. Good game. Good game. Anything without water absorb is probably going to take a huge chunk of damage or just straight up get O-code. So fantastic, fantastic Mon for this team. And I will defend its selection to the bitter end. Chaos and Shroom. Well, mainly Chaos, let's be honest here. So that's Doom Bunny. Well, I'm sorry, man. Doom Bunny was like my first ever competitive Azumarill. And I guess he's just got a special place in my heart. Azumono. Now, we move on to the wonderful, the glorious, the kinda looks like he should be in a 90s hip-hop band, Monohawk the Scrafty. This Scrafty has Lumberry Shedskin. I absolutely love Bulk Up Rest Lumberry Shedskin Scrafty. I think it is absolutely amazing, and it is not... I don't think it's appreciated as much as it used to be, and I just love Scrafty, and this is my favourite set. And I think it works well against this team, and if he really wanted to catch me off guard, and this would not surprise me in the slightest, he could run Physical Crest. Oh man, who do I think I'm battling? Jedi? So yeah, I think that the Lumberry Bulk Up set is not only the best Scrafty for the job for this opponent, but I love the set and I really just couldn't help myself but from going for it first battle of the season. Unless it seemed like a really awful matchup, this was always the Scrafty I was going to bring the first battle anyway, because I love it. I love it so much. So we've got Careful for the plus for def. We have no defense investment, but that is because I really fear special attacks more from Mono. I know I just blabbered on about the physical attacks, but we have Bulk Up. But I fear switching in to special attacks, and I fear early special attacks more than early physical attacks, honestly. Drain Punch is there for recovery, Crunch is there for hard hits from Cresselia, Bulk Up and Rest explain themselves. 252 in speed def, again, same reason. A little bit in attack because we're going to be boosting attack. I honestly can't remember why I put that little bit of speed on him. I am on all of the crack. Well, with that being said, that's Scrafty. Let's move on to Monoeon, the Jolteon. Life Orb, Volt Absorb, really, why would you ever run? What is your other ability? Quick Feet, I thought so. Why would you ever run Quick Feet? So the idea is we have Volt Absorb, switching to potential Volt switches from the Magneton. That's the guy. And then we can gain some momentum. We can either, if we have Hazards up and we predict that he's going to switch something in that would be advantageous to do so, we can Roar. If we predict that he'll switch something in like a Ground type, we can Yawn. Try and get this guy to force himself, well, not to force himself up, but to choose to switch out so that we can get a free Volt switch. The Yawn could potentially guarantee us a Volt switch, which could be really nice. We have Hidden Power Ice in case we want to pick off any ground type switch-ins, and Roar again just for hazard damage. Stats kind of speak for themselves here. We've got 252, 2524. Modest. We don't need to run Timid to outspeed anything on his team unless it's Scarfed, but we won't outspeed anything he wants to Scarf anyway. Yeah. Fairly self-explanatory Jolteon there. I really like the Yawn Roar combo, and I super duper think it's going to come in handy. I think some disruption in the form of phasing and essentially pseudo-phasing in the form of Yawn. I love a bit of disruption. And I think that somebody who preps and plans really carefully like Mono, I think disruption is going to be key. You know? Anyway, now, last but not least, we have a Mon that performed exceptionally well Season 2. And one that I am really actually glad that I got, and I hadn't planned for at all. This was a snipe replacement. We have Monogamy, the Goodra. I absolutely fucking love Goodra, and I know you guys are going to be seeing this set and thinking, Ciz, I thought you were at least not a dickhead, bro. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say cool, but I thought you weren't an asshole. Well, you were wrong, weren't you, motherfucker? Because we have here Damp Rock, Hydration, Rain Dance, Infestation, Toxic, Rest, Goodra. I don't fear special attacks anywhere near as much as physical attacks on Goodra from Mono's team, and I really wanted a mixed, bulky Goodra, so I put loads, max, into physical defense, a good amount into HP, and enough speed to outspeed, I believe, Blastoise and Cresselia. Yep, Blastoise, Cresselia, and Magneton. Yeah, so Goodra will outspeed Blastoise, Cresselia, and Magneton, unless they have crazy speed investment. So that's fucking awesome. So we can get the drop on them, catch them with Infestation. If they're susceptible, blam them with a Toxic. If they've racked up damage on us, we go for a Damp Rock Rain Dance. And we just rest away. If in the interim they try and do things like Toxicus, burn us, we may set up a Rain Dance before going for the Toxic. Heal our own status so we don't rack up extra damage or potential paralysis, then go for the Toxic on them. Do you see where I'm going? Absolutely evil set, fairly classic, fairly standard on a rain team with Goodra, although this isn't a rain team. It's not a rain team. Pseudo rain, maybe. Rainish. Potential rain-esque. But it's not a rain team. But yeah, so this is kind of standard rain Goodra.jpg if you want to be a cunt, essentially. And I do. Not in an unsportsmanlike way, but I just really, really want to win. Mono is really good, and this set works really well on this team. So I'm going to be that guy. And with that being said, now time to move on to what I expect Mono to bring. There is some variance with sets and spreads. This is just the most likely, or at the very least, the closest median sets I could get to the ones I expect him to bring. Do you know what I mean? So it's mostly what I think he'll bring, but there is some variance. There is some variance. With that in mind, let's move on to the team of the Monorific one. Oh yeah, that's right. You see that transition? You see that transition? You see that transition? You see that transition? Sorry, I'm just so happy. I figured out how to do that all by myself. And I know, okay, anybody that does YouTube that is remotely good, you probably already knew how to do that. You probably think it's super easy. But don't take this away from me. Allow me some glory. Fucking goddammit. Yeah? Okay? Is that alright? Thank you. Thank you. Which way am I supposed to be this is really freaking me out. Okay, this way. We good. How does one does not simply... One does... Fusion! Okay, so, Mono's team, as we've already mentioned, I'm pretty sure he is going to be bringing the Magneton. If he doesn't bring the Magneton, then I'm going to start questioning his sanity, honestly, because when your opponent has a Scizor, you bring a Magneton, if you have the Magneton. Unless you think somehow that his team is going to be centered around solely beating Magneton. But anybody who focuses solely on the Magneton probably is a little bit cuckoo in the Lala matrix. So, what I expect from him is a very small amount of speed investment to pick up, I think maybe outspeeding... What are you outspeeding? What do I think you want to outspeed with that? You want to outspeed, possibly, an uninvested Azumarill. Or maybe a slightly invested Azumarill. You want to be outspeeding maybe an uninvested... No, you wouldn't outspeed an uninvested Goodra, actually, would you? I think, if I remember correctly, when I was planning out what I thought he was going to bring, bearing in mind this was a couple of days ago, I've been really planning ahead. I am pretty sure Adamant Mega Scizor is... I knew there was a rational reason. Adamant Mega Scizor is like 95 speed without investment. So, this is to make sure that he outspeeds an Adamant Mega Scizor. I know there's a little bit extra in there, but I just like to account for it, just in case, okay? I like to be sure. I'm paranoid, okay? Alright? What's that noise? Anyway, so that little bit of investment is about speed Mega Scizor, but does it know that we're ready? Yeah. Why is there... No, that's max... Yeah, as much HP as possible. All of the HP, because they're the elite, to give him extra additional bulk on both sides. Max special attack, so his HP fire and Volt switches are doing cray damage. Magnet pull, for obvious reasons. Scizor, hello. Volt switch for momentum. Hidden power fire to wreck me before I deck thee. Flash cannon, because another stab that hits rock types and fairies. Well, I don't have any pure fairies and... not rock types. But Flash Cannon because another stab, okay. Toxic because residual damage could be really good against my team, especially if I don't bring the Heliki, which I'm not, but he doesn't know that. Put on this thing, honestly. If I'm going to be real with you, friends, that's kind of why. But I do think residual damage would be good against my team. Now let's move on to the Shell Shocker himself, Mega Blastoise. We've got Mega Launcher boosted Aura Sphere and Ice Beam. Is that right? Does Mega Launcher boost Ice Beam? No, just Pulse moves, not Ice Beam. But it does boost Aura Sphere, which isn't a Pulse move. Maybe it does boost Ice Beam. I can't remember. I haven't used a Mega Blastoise in a while. Of course, the item is going to be a Choice Band. Blastoise Knight, Mega Launcher, Aura Sphere, Rapid Spin, because he's going to really want that spin support, especially on a team that features Scolipede and Kyurem, which almost definitely will. And plus residual damage on things like Magneton wouldn't be ideal. If he does decide to run a Sash set, which is a possibility, if he wants to outspeed and pick up a KO on a Superpower Scizor, if he thinks that's his only answer, for instance. So yeah, plenty of instances where having Rapid Spin would be really advantageous for him. I think he's going to want Hazards clear as much as possible. I need to stop wibbling my table so I don't look like I'm in an earthquake. So yeah, fairly self-explanatory set. We have not necessarily a weakness to Ice, but Goodra doesn't appreciate Ice, although Goodra and Blastoise, Goodra doesn't have too much to worry about from Blastoise, in my opinion, especially if it is a specially defensive set, like I've predicted here. The reason I predicted a specially defensive set is because he's going to want to be able to take hits and take damage and get Rapid Spins off as much as possible. I think he's going to have this thing as a naturally Mega Launcher boosted cannon for things like Aura Sphere, rely on maybe My Rain boost and Stab and Burn for the Scald benefits, and Ice Beam just for coverage. So essentially this thing is just going to be a bulky tank that can dish out some good uninvested damage and get Rapid Spins off. That's my prediction. I think he's going to supplement that awesome special power with some Kyurem. What I think, though, is he is going to be bringing the Expert Belt. I don't think he's going to want the residual damage from Life Orb. If he doesn't want to focus his Blastoise on being a spinner, he doesn't have a lot of options worth bringing to this battle to get rid of Hazards. So I really think he's going to want to have Expert Belt over Life Orb. Don't think he's going to want to lock himself in because Scizor does essentially hard switch into this guy. So it'd be really good for him to be able to change up his moves and go for, as I was going to say, Hidden Power Fire. That is there for the Scizor. It won't 2-hit KO in Rain. I've just changed the move. Why have I done this? My H key is broken. Did you know? Everybody on Skype knows because they think I'm on crack cocaine because of how I type. God freaking damn it. So Hidden Power Fire is there for the Scizor. We've got Stone Edge, coverage, power, Dragon Claw and Fusion Bolt, because what's coming in against this guy? An Ice and Dragon type. Oh, I think it'd be the Fairy Water type, don't you? Why does Shockwave Flash keep crashing? What are you doing to me, bro? We're recording here, man. Show some decency, Shockwave Flash. Yeah, so obviously, Azumarill is essentially one motherfucker of a counter to this thing if he doesn't bring Fusion Bolt or some other super effective move of some kind of inferior nature. Well, friends, for some reason, Showdown has decided to get rid of the EVs I put in here, so I can't remember any specific speeds I was going to go for in relation to like prepping for my team and such. Let's give it max speed, except it's only going up to 248. Showdown has been really screwy for me lately. Wouldn't let me nickname for months. I see you, Showdown. I know your game. You can't stop me with your chicanery. So let's say max speed, max attack. Naughty, because who doesn't like being a bit naughty, eh? Yeah, well, mainly because we don't want the special attack drop, because we want Hidden Power Fire to be hitting with maximum potency. So yeah, that's essentially why we have the things we have. An Expert Belt as well will help with Hidden Power Fire, especially with no investment. Scolipede. Now, this is where I really start to question myself. I am not sure if he would be bringing something like Swords Dance Baton Pass, because let's face it, Speed Boost, Swords Dance, Baton Pass into Kyurem would be absolutely pant-sweatingly, trouser-browningly, disgustingly terrifying. I don't think I could even... I think I would just close the DS, curl up under a duvet, and cry for days. And just give him the match right there and then. But yeah, so seriously, could you imagine getting a Swords Dance Baton Pass into Kyurem, even without Swords Dance, getting some Baton Passes into Cresselia? Cresselia with HP and special attack investment modest, but with +2, +3 speed. Yikes. Especially against my slow-ass team. Could you imagine Magneton with speed and investment? Could do some decent damage. Blastoise with speed and maybe special investment could do some damage if it could get the drop on Armon. if it could take away our speed edge that we have given some of our mons specifically to take care of Blastoise, that could be a real problem. Not to mention that if this thing just sticks around and sets up a Swords Dance and gets up a free speed boost, which is why, by the way, friends, it's uninvested in the speed. It doesn't need to be. It does not need to be. You're supposed to be fully invested in HP. What are you doing? Showdown. Showdown. Let's give you a little bit of defense as well. So yeah, so we've got this guy uninvested in speed because he doesn't need to be. He's already naturally faster than most of our team. After one speed boost, Shazam. Decent natural bulk on the physical side, not so decent on the special side, but this thing has lots of opportunity to at least get off a neutral speed boost without having to worry too much. You know, if he predicts our lead well, leads with this, gets up a free speed boost, maybe even sets up a Swords Dance when we switch, if he predicts it well enough. Shit. He's Mega Horning, he's Poison Jabbing. If he gets rid of the Scizor and he's in that situation, he's golden. Nothing wants to take on a +2 Mega Horn and Poison Jab combo from these guys. From this guy. No. And after a couple of speed boosts, he'll outspeed Jolteon. In fact, I think after one. Yeah, after one, he will outspeed Jolteon. So this thing is terrifying. I think potentially though, he may not go down the... What are you doing, bruh? Every time Flash crashes, it resets things. Not everything, just some things. I don't know why. That's why it's happening, friends. I think you should all go onto Twitter, @Shockwave Flash, or whatever their Twitter handle is, and complain about this pain and suffering your buddy Sears went through. There. Incompetence! I digress. I gotta stop saying that. So anyway, yeah, so this thing, terrifying. The other route I think he might go down, there's a possibility, Hazard Stacking. If he just leads with this, Poison Spikes and Spikes, both, or just one of them, that could be a real problem. We won't have a lot of opportunities to Hazard remove, even if we do bring it. Luckily though, Mega Scizor, if we do decide at the last minute that we're worried about hazards, can run Defog. He also gives zero fuckers about spikes and about poison spikes, especially because he's got Roost. So if it gets to late game hazard stacking, not too much of a problem. If we've gotten rid of Blastoise, and well, really Blastoise, Scizor can do a bit of a number on the entire team, honestly, especially with a bit of prior damage. So Mega Scizor essentially is the MVP, the man to protect in this battle, in order to deal with most of the serious threats from his team. Speaking of serious threats, the Living Wall, the Blob of Destruction, MDC Cresselia. I think he's going to have a modest, funnily enough, a modest, bulky Cresselia. The reason for that is, as I say, it opens him up to the most options. If he, fair enough, he could go speed investment, but there's no point in him naturally speed investing. I think if he wants this thing to outspeed, he should pass speed boost into it. I think that would be the best plan. So, max special attack investment for max potency of attacks, Shadow Ball for coverage, Psyshock for stab, Moonblast for fighting in dark, Moonlight for recovery along with leftovers, giving it some longevity along with that bulk. I think there's a lot of potential for this set if supported correctly. Not too many intricacies to it, but again, sometimes simple is the most effective. So yeah, that's Cresselia. A threat, but in this instance, a simple and easily explained one. Really dangerous, really scared of it, blah blah blah. Last but not least, this is probably the biggest potential variance. I think all of the 5 I've mentioned so far will be coming. The sets may be wrong, but I think these 5 will be there. What I am thinking though is he may, instead of bringing Ordino, my memory just ain't what it used to be. Oh, to be a young man. Golurk or Gligar. No, not Gligar. Yes, Gligar? No, Gligar. Gligar? No, Gligar. Golurk or Gligar. Yeah, I'm thinking Golurk or Gligar could come in place of the Ordino, just purely for electric immunity, with potential rain and Jolteon threatening, well, Thunders and such, threatening the Blastoise, and in fairness, the entire team that doesn't resist it. I think having something that resists is immune to electricity and prevents volt switching and initiative. Hello, Pokemon terminology 101. Yeah, so I have lost my tangent. I have lost my marbles. I have lost my yeah, so I think Ordino could potentially be switched out with one of the two ground types, Gligar or Golurk. The G's. G for ground. What does it all mean? G, Golurk, Gligar, ground. I'm alright. I'm fine. So what have you done to my stats, bro? What I've done is I have gone full bulky defensive. The main threat to Ordino will be physical offense from our team in the form of fighting moves from Scizors, Scrafty, Azumarill, potentially even Mamoswine. Natural bulk will allow it to take neutral special hits quite well. Super effective special hits, not so much, but we don't have a lot of potential for that on the team, really, that we're going to be using. So I don't think he'd be too worried about that. If he does bring Ordino, I think, of course, Regenerator is the best for this, along with Leftovers. Wish and Heal Bell for support, because, again, there is a lot of potential for Rocks damage and residual damage against this team, especially with us having things like Toxic and Rocks, of course. And with bulky S-Mons like Cresselia, although it has its own recovery, and with pseudo-bulky Mons without recovery like Blastoise and Scolipede, physically bulky for Scolipede anyway, some recovery would be really nice. The last thing he wants is his Mon to get Toxic and worn down easily as well, so the Heal Bell could be really nice. No Moonblast or Stab, because I don't think it's necessary on this Mon. Knock Off to get rid of our items and disrupt our strategies, and Encore to prevent us from setting up or doing annoying things like trying to phase out, I guess. Phase things, haze things, do things to things. It's just a disruption strategy, essentially. This Ordino is there to recover health, be the cleric, and to disrupt us. Essentially, that's my prediction. If it is one of the ground types, it'll be to remove hazards in the case of Gligar, along with some defense, or in the case of Golurk, it'll be probably a bulky attacker there to spin block, if we do decide to bring Torkoal, or just straight up negate any potential neutral normal moves we might go for, or negate the electric type moves. That has been my predictions for Mono's team. This glorious apparition that you're about to see before you is the team we are bringing for Mono. Let me know what you think of not only my choices to bring against Mono, a titan of TBU. Although it will be the first battle he's ever played, he is a prolific and well-known and well-established player. So let us know how you think we prepared for it. You guys haven't really seen content from the Scizors in a while, from me in a while. You haven't really seen me battle in a while. So you probably have no idea what to expect from me. So let me know what you've thought of this planning, what you think how you think it bodes for the team this season. Do you think I've got my shit together, or do you think I am just a shit spewer? Yes. Or both! Why not both, right? So yeah, let me know how you think my preparation was. Let me know what you think you would have done differently. What Mon would you have put in place of which other Mon? What moves would you have had? What spreads would you have had? And what do you think Mono will bring? How accurate do you think my predictions were? And what do you think of the matchup? Honestly, be real with me. Wound me! Wound me with your words. I like you to speak the truth to my friends. Feed my soul with your honesty. Let me know who you think is going to win the battle. I'm really curious. Might even leave a little polybobs. Little polybobs down in the description or the comment section. I know how to technology and such and modern things. Yeah. So let me know what you think of it all, guys. Let me know how hype you are. Let me know how hyped you are to have content back on the channel, to have stuff from me again, for whatever reason. If you are certifiably insane. And let me know what you've thought of this video, what you think of TBU. If you don't know what TBU is, go and check out the channel. Link is in the description. All the coaches' links will be in the description. Please check them all out. Subscribe if you enjoy the content, which I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Especially if you are insane. Have yourselves a Scizorsome day. Come back here tomorrow for the battle, which is going to be amazing. Clearly. Not to toot my own pincers here. How would one toot pincers? Like that? That's not really toot. It's more mimicry, really, than actual music. You know? And on that note, have yourselves a Scizorsome day. Goodbye.